Anyway, let's go to game 2.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to game 2. And 1-0 in favor of Zuppi, just double checking that I have it in that order. Alright, so we are into game 2 now. We have the Green Arabia version of Arabia this time around. In terms of civilizations, we have Zuppi on the left playing in red as Persians, and we have Yinghua playing in blue towards the right-hand side as Celts. So this is hidden civs. They're allowed to pick any civ other than Aztecs, Mayans, and Huns. So if you want to introduce Zuppi this time around, Robo, his map and everything.
Okay, his map's definitely not as good as the last one. His main gold on the bottom side, that's really horrible positioning. Not easily going to be able to get a town center on that later in the game. That massive hill just sitting right next to it is going to put in a lot of danger. And like the only walls that he can do, they're going to be really far out from his town center.
Yep.
Quite easy for Love Chain to break in if you want. Whereas like the rest of his map, it's been nice. He's got the 2 back golds and the back stone, which are much easier to defend. He can sort of wall to his TC and force that into a choke. So I would assume that he's going to trade on the back of his base, where he places his economy.
I agree, mostly with what the massive hills are the biggest issue for me on this map. I mean, his main gold, if he didn't have the massive hills, it's not that bad. It's a little far out, but at least it's not to the front. But that hill really makes it that much more difficult to defend. And as for why Persia has been seen, so yeah. Okay, well, Taff is on the job. He's already explaining it. So I'm going to just quickly have a look at Yinghua's map. His main gold is quite close to his TC. It's towards the back. He's decided to drop his first lumber camp towards the at the forest towards the front. He does have a nice forest towards the back. It's a little further away from the town center though, so perhaps that's why he's decided to drop it at the front for starters. His berries are towards the front as well. Not seeing any big hills in front of his base, and I suppose he could go for some walls, but they're going to be quite large walls if he wants to wall this map off. It's quite an open map. But the left-hand side slightly easier to wall than the right-hand side. Maybe we're going to see some walls from him. For Celts, in terms of strategy, either Drush or Men-at-Arms, most likely. Maybe Men-at-Arms 4 would be nice to see from him. For Persians, I have no idea what Zuppi's got planned for Persians, but I haven't seen it played so far in the tournament, so he must have some kind of unique strategy in mind.
I feel he might go for Man-at-Arms into Scouts or something along those lines.
Men-at-Arms into Scouts. Ooh, Yinghua wins that scout fight actually. So now he's got to be very careful with his scout. Doesn't want to lose it. Does manage to take out Zuppi's scout. I actually thought Zuppi was going to win that. But it does look like he's only got 3 on wood. So it's not going to be a drush from Zuppi. That much is for sure.
I've changed my mind about Man-at-Arms now that he's lost his scout though, because with no scouting information, it's really difficult for him to get a good Man-at-Arms attack in.
Yep.
Got absolutely no idea where Love Ching's base is, and he's also missing the sheep down in the south of his base.
Yep. He is missing sheep. Yep, there. So it looks like he wants to drush actually. I'm seeing him send that bill forward. Nope, it's going to be a mill on the deer. So instead he's going to play quite greedy. So it looks like maybe scouts then, if he's dropping the mill, just don't get the farm instead, and then try to get up to feudal age. Make those early scouts, try and bring it back a bit, whereas if we're looking at Yinghua's build, he's going for 1 farm down. So either Men-at-Arms, looking most likely, because I've never seen scouts from Celts. I don't know, is that a legit strat? I don't think it is.
It works, but they don't really have any specific bonuses for it. Like they do for their Man-at-Arms with the massive speed bonus. Which is why Celt players tend to drush, because their speed bonus is the only infantry bonus that kicks in Dark Age, of course. But I like Men-at-Arms, maybe forward towers for him. He has back stone piles as well, so not too bad. He can wall those off quite easily, towards the town center at least, I would say. Keep that area of the map safe,
And he wants to play aggressive, especially with that forward lumber camp there.
I'm not sure how well playing super aggressive is going to work out for him though, because he's able to wall that left and north side area, attack those back golds and back stones. It'd be quite cool for Love Cheng to actually get in and do a lot of damage.
But that's what men-at-arms are for. I mean, even if you wall, if you have the forward towers, that's going to prevent the player from re-walling behind it. That's why you take the vills forward, right? To build the tower as well.
Yeah,
and you're slightly cutting out when you're talking on TeamSpeak.
Get onto his own stone if he needs to.
Yep, Zuppi has his own stone. It also depends on where he attacks from. So, say if he starts attacking from this side and then comes in. We'll see. We'll see how he decides to play it. I mean, Zuppi's got a good map for defending, but on the other hand, right now he's got a lot of economy towards the front, and he's just got those 2 forests as well. That's another thing to consider. Alright, so Zuppi on the way to Feudal Age for, what is that, 22 pop? Since he did have, oh, this is interesting by Yinghua. He's still not clicking up. And clicking up on 24 pop with 2 farms down. And he is going on gold now. But he's sending 3 to gold. The standard is 2 for gold, and you go 22, 23 pop up, especially with Celts with the woodcutting bonus. You don't want to delay the men-at-arms too much. With 2 farms down, you can go archers. He did farm really early, and with the Celt woodcutting bonus, it's definitely an option as well. So we're going to see him go straight archers this game, I think.
He hasn't got his barracks yet, so he's going to be really...
Yeah, so I don't think men-at-arms. Yeah, it's going to be archers. I had a bit of a discussion with Viper before about how many farms to drop if you're going archers, and he says he usually drops 2, especially for civs like Koreans. So I think it makes sense given the barracks timing from Yinghua, the population going up to 24 rather than 22 or 23, the fact that he has so many on gold as well, and if you look at his wood count, it's looking quite high as well. So let's have a look. What is Zuppi going for? He's dropping the stable, so it is going to be scouts for him. He was taking deer as well, so it makes sense. And he's going to use the mill as well as the barracks as part of a wall-off, if you look at it.
Quite nice to try to burn off that front of his base, but it's not really going to stop Love Cheng from getting into his base at all. It's just delay him a little bit and give him line of sight of what's coming. Yeah,
and I just noticed Yinghua did go up without loom. So he's getting loom now. That was a really risky play for him, but I guess he was confident that given that Zuppi actually lost his scout and the double archery range is coming down as well, using 4 vills to build that, making sure that they get up nice and quick, and he's got a lot of houses. Look at that, 24 out of 45 pop, so he's not going to need to build a house for quite some time. Walling those vills in on the gold as well, so he's got somewhat of a good idea of what Zuppi's going to do, given Zuppi's uptime. I think it's semi-obvious. He's even got the resources for the blacksmith right away, and he will be able to get fletching as well. So this is really, really nice for Love Cheng right now.
Yeah, he just makes one of his men to go along with his archers. There's going to be really nothing that the scouts can do to him at this early stage of the game.
Yeah, and with the spearmen coming out as well.
His initial scout.
Yeah. So, lost his initial scout. Yinghua already knows exactly what's coming. He's made 2 spearmen now, and yeah, Zuppi's going to run into this, and he realizes immediately that Yinghua's gone archers. I think he should expect it. He should have been expecting it, rather, given the uptime anyway. So now his scouts are just scouting things out. He spread them out, so he's not actually trying to attack one place just yet, not with 2 scouts. And what's he doing at home? We see him throwing down the archery range now to start defending, and Yinghua now sending his units forward to try and be a little more aggressive. Maybe he's going to continue making spearmen though to keep his economy safe, especially the Berryvilles, and he has walled in all of his lumberjacks now.
Definitely playing really safe at home, getting a lot of wood in those houses.
But he's Celts, so you know, compared to other civs, it's much better to do that with Celts. And ooh, Yinghua going to see Zuppi walling off, but Zuppi already has that wall up off, well, off up rather, and he's even going to drop a house to force Yinghua past the town center. So Yinghua now has to go the long way around, all the way around the base of Zuppi, and Zuppi Scout's still not able to do anything here right now. He's going to find the Berryvilles though.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
Okay.
You can't blame Yinghua being defensive at home, mind, can you? After that first game, I don't blame him at all. He's making sure he's ultra safe.
Yep. So, as you can see, Zuppi not able to do anything there. The houses, the palisades, just keeping him out, and Yinghua just going to head around. Now we see a tower, defensive tower coming up from Zuppi. He's going to wall in towards this town center to keep this woodline safe. But the problem is, if Yinghua just goes all the way around, if he spots that tower, he can still attack these lumberjacks towards the back. So...
And this also cuts Zuppi off from all the gold and stone resources.
Yep.
Like, as long as Lovechang doesn't waste that army that he has in the back of his base, that cuts off those 2 golds in the stone. And then, as we mentioned earlier, his main gold and the front stone aren't really nice at all to take safely.
But he's not going to be able to wall off that back gold, etc. by his berries now, is he, with the amount of military that Yinghua's moved in?
Yep, especially with the fletching upgrade, which Zuppi doesn't actually have yet. And I like how safe Yinghua's played. He actually took 2 spearmen forward, so he took no risks there. And he's even getting padded at archer armor now, going to try and stick to the top of the hill here, splitting his army so he can control his archers separately from the spearmen and start taking down some of those skirms from Zuppi. Oh, and he's even got the scout. Yep. He knows exactly what Zuppi's doing. He sees this. So now Yinghua knows everything that Zuppi's doing. He's trying to wrap around the skirmishes. Unfortunately, it is blocked off on that side of the map, so he will be forced to at least deal with these skirmishes before he can actually attack that. He's losing archers for nothing here. That was a little unfortunate.
To be honest, if you ever look at Lovechang's resources, he'll be cleaning up the castle age in a couple of minutes.
Yep.
Quite a strong position because of that.
And Zuppi's still quite far away from clicking to Castle Age. I mean, Zuppi did invest into the scouts as well, which he wasn't able to actually use, and it looks like Lovechang might catch Zuppi out at the lumber camps there. If you look at it, ooh, Zuppi with the fast walls there, very nice. That's going to protect his lumberjacks a little more than they were protected before with the earlier wall. Oh, well, that's a late double bit axe from Yinghua.
Still quite a risky situation though. We've got all of his wood concentrated on that side.
And that's kind of what we were talking about, right? The fact that Zuppi only has the 2 forests. So if Yinghua takes him off one, especially, he was basically off the forest towards the south, and he can't go for that, but he can go for the forest on the left. So if he gets taken off that, then there's not much that Zuppi can do from there on in.
I think he's looking safer and safer though, isn't he? He's walling off towards his TC, the bottom of the map. He's taking his back gold now.
Yep.
It's definitely going to turn into a Castle Age fight. There's nothing going to be game deciding at the moment. Although I'd much rather be in Yinghua's position than Zuppi's.
Yep, he's almost on the way to Castle Age. I mean, he's got that nice massive units that he will be able to upgrade when he does reach Castle Age as well, but he's got to be careful microing the units. He's kind of splitting them up.
No micro at all, was there?
Yeah, he was just running into the TC, you know. But now he's on the way to Castle Age, and he's just going to retreat for a bit, get to the top of the hill, probably just keep running away until he reaches Castle Age is the best idea, and then he can...
a second stable at home.
Yep.
Definitely planning on going all out with knights and crosses.
Well, with Zuppi investing so heavily into skirms, and the fact that Zuppi's walled in towards the town centre, he's got those towers, and it makes sense to go for stables.
Zuppi should know that he's got stable now, though. Scouts are just a little battle with one of the other scouts down at the bottom of the map. So he should know what's coming for him soon.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, don't you think that plays into Zuppi Sif's hands, though, to be going like crossbows and double stable knights versus Persian when he knows Zuppi's already massing skirms and he's going to come out with his Persian knights?
Yeah.
Or not?
I think it's more a playstyle issue. A lot of the Chinese players, if they get an advantage, then they like to just, go all in. Whereas you'll see some players, they like to play more safe. They'll just do the eco, maybe they'll just keep adding crossbows in and add TC, slowly but surely win the game. Whereas I feel like for Yinghua, he just wants to win this game straight away. Once he gets to Castle Age, he just wants to do deadly damage and end the game once and for all.
If it'll pay off for him.
Well,
I
he
think
does have the
forward siege
nice
is
mass.
definitely going to be happening
Mm-hmm.
rather than later if he actually wants to win this castle.
Yeah. Alright, so he's in Castle Age now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't you think he would have been better off though, not going the knights and going forward with the siege in the monastery, and getting his crossbows, and then obviously getting Mangonel's monks and crossbows? Or
It's slower. Like, I really think it comes down to playstyle, and for Yinghua, he just likes being more aggressive. So what the knights allow him to do is get there right at the start of Castle Age. Zuppi gets no space whatsoever to breathe, and then he's already in his face with those knights, killing off those skirmishes. He's going to be able to clear up the wood line, and he's still got the scout in the back, so he knows that Zuppi doesn't have any defenses over there. So that's pretty important for him as well.
He's about to lose a scout though.
Yep, but
just lost his scout.
he still knows where
Not
it all
really going to
is.
hurt.
Yeah, he's got enough
Crossbows picking
information.
off hills on the wood, but they're not getting in there.
No, and that's what he needs the knights for as well. So I also feel like Yinghua probably thought he was a little further ahead than he was in terms of getting to Castle Age. With Zuppi reaching Castle Age not that much later than Yinghua, so those skirm's going to be quite efficient, and he's going to get elite skirm upgrade as well.
He needs to be careful with those skirms going up against a couple of knights.
Mm-hmm.
But he pulled back.
I'm just waiting for the siege workshop now. Like, he can't really push in.
He's
right
not
at the siege, he doesn't
going to
have
go
enough
for the siege workshop because he's got 2 TCs going back at home, so he's just gonna, invest a little. Yeah.
To me, it makes less sense now that he's gone knights then instead. I thought he
Yeah.
would have had the siege workshop. Just giving Zuppi more time, that's all. I still think Yinghua's in a dominant position,
Yeah.
but all this time, he's just playing more into Zuppi's Civ's favour, I think.
That house that he's attacking doesn't actually go anywhere. So,
Yeah, it's still blocked on the wood. The crossbows can move forward though, can't they? Push him off the farms and push him off the wood almost entirely, so...
But the skirms
it
are the
sort of
issue.
works.
Like,
Yeah,
he can
skirms
do
are the
that.
issue. Knights can't get in, and he's got no siege to frighten the skirms away.
siege workshop is coming up with that villager who's building the house wall on the far left-hand side.
Yeah, so he's gonna try and get in through here and then attack the
Zuppi
secondary
only
gold.
with four knights at the moment. Before he gets +2, he needs to mass a double that.
And that's kind of
Probably even more than that, to be honest.
what you could see. Yinghua, he changed his plan a bit. If he really wanted to go full aggression, he should have gotten the +2 armor immediately on those knights when he reached Castle Age, but he didn't do that. He's just massing them up, so he's using them to supplement his army more than making it the all-in push that I was expecting, at least.
Oh, that was risky from Zuppi. I thought he bypassed his knights. He tried to take his knights around to attack the crossbows, and in the meantime, he's going to lose his entire army there now.
Yep. Yinghua has too much army here.
Skirms is getting worked over.
Yep. And he's gonna lose all of his knights as well. And Yinghua now has the +2 armor complete on his knights, so he can stand under TCs and start raiding Zuppi's economy. Run past the town center, no problem now. Probably doesn't want to fight under the town center though. And we see the first mangonel out already for Yinghua, but it's not that great anymore now that all the skirms have been taken out. And I don't think is he making any more crossbows
Zuppi.
back at home? No.
Zuppi being forced into camels as well, so it's definitely in favour of Yinghua.
This Mangonel just needs to go kill these villagers building this town center.
Town centre, go forward.
Oh, you're like tiles away from seeing it.
He's moving.
Gonna move forward. He's gonna see it.
No.
He sees it. He sees it, but he hasn't responded to it yet. He's seeing it now.
Prime opportunity.
Okay, so his mangonel probably will die to these units coming in from Zuppi now, with the bloodlines and +2 armor. He doesn't have enough units in that area to kind of deny that, and he wants to heal up his knights as well. They're mostly on pretty low health, so he's got some monks coming out as well. He's changed his gather point towards the back. He's just gonna keep an eye and see where that TC, how that TC is being, well, going rather. And now that Zuppi's seen the monastery, he's just gonna back away. Yeah.
Villager count is hugely in favour of Yinghua, so...
Oh, and just his eco, he has 1k gold almost. Spent some of it, but could quite easily click up to Imp pretty soon if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's got his 4th TC coming down now and getting Bowsaw a little late, but he did invest into the early 2nd and 3rd town centre before he went, you know, extra pressure at the front, and his monk is not responding. He's not paying attention. There we go. A bit late on in terms of the reactions there for Yinghua. He's going to lose 1 monk, gets 1 convert though, and he should be able to clear up all these units here from Zuppi as well in the meantime, so... Oh, he doesn't get the monk. Well, that's kind of surprising. And that means Yinghua not only gets to heal his units up, he clears up Zuppi's army as well, and gets 2 camels while he's at it. Let's have a look at Zuppi's economy. 1, 2, 3 TCs. He's taking both of his back gold piles now, as well as his main gold, so a bit of efficiency for him, but with Yinghua sticking to 4 town centers and continuing to apply pressure by adding in those knights and the monks as well as mangonels now to pressure that town center. It's going to be very tough.
He's already 20 villagers in front, which is just going to get bigger and bigger. He's going to be first to Imperial, while Zuppi's going to be a long way away. This is pretty much like a slow death game now.
Yep, Yinghua will be able to click up in 3 minutes.
The double HP on the town centers. It's going to make it quite slow being able to push in.
Yep. But it wastes a lot of resources as well. I mean, even if you have that health, you're going to spend so much wood repairing your town centers, which is just going to delay his economy even further. Whereas Yinghua right now, I mean, he's got his 3rd mangonel coming in. He should be able to click up to Imperial very soon. He's winning all of these engagements with his monks, and if he flattens the monks... Nope. He's just going to retreat for a bit. And he's got that hill as well, so that's something else to consider. Zuppi has to fight into a hill. He can't really attack Yinghua back at home. Yinghua's mostly walled off. He's got a lot of town centers around protecting his economy, and if Zuppi goes forward with his army, then he's going to die immediately back at home with this many knights out from Yinghua. Yeah, Celta has better Civ bonus.
Eco is 2 players at the moment. The difference in the amount of resources they have in the bank is staggering.
And of course the fact that Zuppi has, what, 65 to 96 villagers right now? Alright, so Zuppi's trying to come in and attack, but immediately the monks from Yinghua are going to force him away. He did use those archers to scout out a bit, but not able to do too much, and you can see, even repairing that town center with 3 mangonels, firing down on it, it's going down really quickly. Just look at the wood count go down for Zuppi as he repairs that town center. It's so expensive. And now Yinghua, on the way to Imperial Age. And he can go full halbs, and he's adding the barracks now, getting scale mail armor. And once again we see Zuppi moving forward with his army. Yinghua, a bit of a slow reaction, might lose some mangonels here, using his monks to convert now. All 5 monks converting. It looks like he should be able to clear this up. He's going for the monks of Zuppi as well with his own knights.
Yeah, Zuppi was quite late trying to convert with the monks himself. They were all walking for a long time.
I think he got about half of them to convert off.
But you can see Zuppi's all-in castle. Absolute all-in castle fight. He knows he can't afford to stop and think of holding resources to go to Imperial, so you've got to worry for what his mind's going to think as soon as Yinghua hits Imperial.
But he will win this fight.
Miles away.
Yeah, he will win this fight, but I mean, it's also because Yinghua stopped investing into the knights, and he picks off another monk without losing a convert. And in the meantime, back at home, dropping the castle, dropping barracks back at home as well. Already has pikemen upgrade complete. Continuing to upgrade chainmail armor now on the way and complete for him. And he's just going to go for the halbs. Another castle? Where's the other castle? Another castle somewhere. Or is that just late? Dashboard seems to be lagging a little for me.
I can't see a second castle just yet.
I don't know. Dashboard told me he was... must have been... He built a castle rather than building a castle. So the first castle is up and running for Yinghua. And he's adding in more and more pikemen now. Almost Imperial Age. Bow Sawman at 37 for Zuppi. I mean, Yinghua's economy is looking like it is in fantastic shape right now.
He'll drop another castle as well, won't he, and go mass woads.
Yep.
Mass woads and use the halberdiers then to push Zuppi's knights away from any sort of raiding or thought of attacking him.
And Halberdier already on the way now, immediately for Yinghua, who's got the words coming out as well. Doesn't even bother garrisoning those vills in the TC to try and deal with the knights. He's just like, my halbs, soon to be halbs, pikes right now will deal with that. Don't want to idle. And continuing to drop more and more barracks forward, mixing in the woes with the pikes to go forward and raid now. Another forward castle, now you can see it near where the original stable was for Zuppi, on top of that hill. Going to come up.
Oh, that's gonna be really sweet.
Yep, that's going to give him a lot of map control. Really nice position to push in from, especially if he goes for the trebs on top of the hill. And looks like Zuppi actually dropping siege workshops and going for scorpions in Castle Age. That's an interesting play. Well, will he be able to deny this castle coming up from Yinghua? Yinghua doesn't have military units in place to defend this. Can't see it? He sees the vills walking past, but... yeah, they let them go. Not paying attention. A little too busy elsewhere.
Zuppi's on his way to Imperial as well. He's taken a bit of a gamble. Stopped making all of his military to click up. I don't know if that's going to pay off for him though, because he's now going to end up with nothing other than getting to Imperial.
He's going to have like 80-something villagers.
Can't really raid, but even just the helbs running in, it's not going to kill many vills, but it's just going to slow him down that little bit, and his eco is already really fragile.
I think the main issue is he's Persian, so what's he gonna go? He goes hand cannons, then he has to wait that extra, 3 minutes for the chemistry upgrade, which is super slow. And then he doesn't even have that much eco to begin with, and you're up against Celts. This guy, Yinghua, is going to have all the castles, spamming out the Woad Raiders, spamming out the halbs. He's already got a better and stronger economy than you, so what do you do in this position?
F10 enter, I think.
Yep, that's what I said when I watched you guys play.
Or hit enter and type G and then another G.
Oh, yeah. But you still have to F10 and to enter eventually, I mean.
Stop being picky.
Alright, GG it is. So, doesn't even wait for Imperial Age. He had Scorpions, but there was a lot of resources put into Scorpions that weren't going to be able to stop the castle push coming in from Yinghua and all the pressure with the Woads that were going to come in as well. So, having a quick look at the achievements, a military, 85 units killed to 72 lost in favor of Yinghua, and 38 to 23 largest army. He also got double the number of converts compared to Zuppi. And stronger economy in every single way. More food, a lot more wood, a lot more stone, and more gold for Yinghua. Right, 121 to 87 Vil high, and it looks like Zuppi was starting to collect relics, but just too little economy at that point and not up to Imperial Age. That takes it to 2-0. Anyone see Milmanu?